Okay. Are we good?
Yep.
Hey, pickleballers, and welcome to a very special episode of the PickleBros podcast. Today, we are doing the live draft for our men's team event. There will be post draft analysis by Jesse, myself, and two other captains. So stick around after the draft to get our thoughts on everyone's picks. Right now, we have five captains waiting off screen, and we're going to be bringing them up as they make their picks in real time. There will be 3 rounds. They'll be making 3 picks, and they will be creating teams of 4 players. The first 2 rounds of the draft are going to be a snake draft assigned by Duper, lowest to highest. And then the third round will be a random number generated order because odd numbered snake drafts are inherently unfair. So we have an even round, 1, 2, for the snake draft for the first 2 rounds. Third one was done with an RNG. So now that we got that out of the way,
RNG, can you?
random number generator. We've been building up to this for weeks now, and it's finally here. I can hardly believe it. Jesse, would you please bring up our first captain to make the pick?
Let's go.
Okay, so this is Nick
Nick
Patterson. Hi, Nick. Can you hear us?
Good evening, boys.
You're in the
Nick.
draft room, Nick.
I'm in the draft room. All right.
You have a very important role here, Nick. You have to pick, and it's super special. You're kicking it all off. You're the catalyst for this thing. So who's it going to be?
In the first round, I'm going to go with Eli, the mean mugging mule.
Ooh.
Eli. Eli goes first. Not unsurprising. Eli is
Okay.
a stud.
Okay.
Excellent. All right, now we got to get rid of Nick. Bring in
Okay,
Sean.
we'll see you in a few minutes.
Yep.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think of that pick?
I mean, semi-predictable. There were a couple guys who could have gone first, but
Yeah.
Eli was. It's not surprising at all.
Solid for sure. Solid for sure. Now Eli doesn't have a huge, not much of a background in singles, I don't believe. So
He's
that
non
is something-
non-rated.
That is something to consider right there. But solid doubles player for sure, and he'll look really good playing next to Nick too.
Yeah.
I've had the privilege of playing with Eli, and I'll tell you, he is a shot maker. He makes things happen, and Nick will be very well served having Eli on his team. And I also think Eli will be fine at singles.
Imagine the forehands coming at you from those two. Jeez.
Yeah, blazing.
All right. Next up,
Okay, this is Sean Hatch. Hello, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Hey everybody!
Sean, number 2 pick, bro.
All right,
Who's it gonna
with the
be?
number 2 pick, the Heavy Dinkers will take.
Oh, I like
Let
this.
me look at the. Oh, dang it! You can't read it. It's terrible.
Dude, just tell us. We can't see a thing.
I'm taking Jose.
Oh,
All right.
Where's Jose?
And by the way, it said Tim's shoe beef was terrible on that thing.
Yes.
Just so you know, that's
Bravo.
what it said. I don't know how
Bravo.
that got on there on the back of my envelope, but that's what it said.
That's so great.
Tim
Jose's-
Beef was terrible. Hey, we love unique takes on this show.
Yes.
On the show, so appreciate
Jose's-
that, Sean.
All right.
Jose's
Okay.
interesting because his duper was way too low for he's been a clinician, he's been a pro at multiple facilities. Like Jose's a monster. So
That is a value pick for sure. And
Absolutely.
Jose, he can get it done in doubles and singles. So I think that's a really good pick. A little surprising, but I like it a lot.
I actually had Jose in the top 5. I was not number 2 was a little higher. I thought someone else might go at 2, but I mean, again, not all that shocking. Jose's an animal, so
Yeah, I saw him play singles over the summer. He looked fantastic. And I know Jose and Sean played together recently, and I believe it was in Salida. And I guess Sean liked him.
yeah.
Yep. I was hoping he would drop to me though, so I am disappointed.
All right.
Are we
Number
ready for our
3.
next? Okay, we're going to go to Mick Tingstrom now, our next captain.
Mick.
What's up, Mick?
Yeah. All right. Well, that was, wow, a surprise pick right out of the gate. Messed up my picks on only on pick
Hold
number
on, Mick,
3.
before you say who I want to say I've had the most dialogue over this draft with you. We've had like 2 or 3 45-minute phone calls. It's like you're so into this.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because my team is the real deal. And so Yeah, so I'm going to make an adjustment here from what I was going to pick, and I am going to. I played a tournament over the weekend with Tim on Saturday. That was yesterday. Yeah, just yesterday.
Yeah.
I had an absolute blast. Tim rocked it. We rocked it as a team. Took home gold out of 20 teams.
It was awesome.
And based on that experience, playing with a guy who creates chaos on the court and having that success, I'm going to go with Brett. Stay out of my lane.
Ooh.
Yes.
I like it. I like that pick.
Well, I don't like it that much because I was hoping I'd get Brett, but I understand completely.
Yeah.
I'll be a setup man. He can fly around like Tim, and we'll see what we can do.
Excellent, Mick. Excellent pick.
Thank you, Mick.
Thanks, Mick.
Brett was another guy that I had slated for the top 5.
For
And
sure. Yeah, me
he and
too.
Mick are going to be a problem.
I like how Mick laid that out. I see those two playing together very similarly to how Mick and I played together yesterday. So
Yeah, I got to play
and
with
we did just fine. So I like that pick.
I got to play with Brett yesterday. He's a fantastic player, a fantastic guy. I would say of all the players on the roster, I would put him number 1 in mixed doubles. I think
Yeah,
he's
me
so fantastic at mixed, but also extremely solid at both men's doubles and singles.
Yep.
Yeah. And we've even named that Brett Lane shot. It's the Kyle Yates. No, it's called the Brett
It's
Lane.
the Brett Lane.
That fake backhand dink
Weird.
that you forehand roll forward. Excellent. All right. Well, it comes to me, guys, at the 4th pick. And
Ooh.
let me tell you, I'm thrilled right now because the guy I was eyeing at number 1 for myself is still on the board, and I didn't think he was going to be there. So, Adam, difficult to say, Adam Osislowski is my first pick. And I'm going here because I've never met the guy, never seen him play. But anyone who can take down Louis in singles is a dude who you want to have in the super singles tiebreaker. Super freak athlete, young guy, 25, 6'3", excellent tennis pedigree. I was texting him and I asked him, I was like, dude, has your doubles game gotten up? And he's like, it's not as good as my singles, but my doubles game is good. And considering he's essentially a pro at singles, if his doubles game is at all 4 or 5 plus, that's what I'm going with.
Okay.
I thought he might go number 1, so I think he's a steal at number 4.
I agree.
Well, so we had a different draft order initially, and Ian was picking first overall, and I had intel that Ian was going to pick Adam first overall. So the fact that he dropped to 4, you got to be feeling pretty good about that, Ian.
I'm
this
shocked.
guy-
I'm shocked and thrilled.
He's one of 2 mystery men, I think, in this tournament. It's
Indeed.
him and Joseph. I don't think too many people know Joseph either, but they're both going to be top picks, and Adam went first. So
Love
good
it.
stuff. Good stuff.
Jesse, it's you up at number 5.
Okay, so there's a couple of names I didn't expect to see at number 5 that are really enticing. But I'm going to go with the person who I was really hoping to get, Seth Bowles.
Wow. What a steal.
And Seth is just, he's sort of new to our group in the morning, and I've been so impressed by his play. And he's someone I love playing with. I feel like he brings out the best in my game, so I hope that we'll have a chance to play together in at least some of these games.
Tim, what do you think of that?
I'm disappointed. I'm super
I
disappointed.
figured.
I did the write up on Seth, and it was glowing to say the least in my praise. And I was totally planning on sniping him from Louis, because I'm
Yep.
sure Louis would have taken him with one of his 2 picks. So I was not going to give him that chance, but it turns out Jesse didn't give him that chance, or me that chance. So
And that stupid
sucks.
skylob,
Yeah.
sky lob he does,
It's
man.
the
Seth
stupid,
is-
super effective sky lob. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. All right, let's bring on Ben.
All right, this is Ben King.
What's up,
Hey,
Ben?
everybody. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good. Do you want to see our team name?
Who's it gonna be? The jar
Jar
openers?
openers.
Okay.
We're going to open a lot of pickle jars in this one.
That's great. All right, jar opener. Who's your
Yeah, we're
first
taking
pick?
Austin Fields, number 1.
Excellent. Tim, we just played Austin in a duper league match. What do you think of this?
I like it. Austin is super solid. I think it's possible that he had a down day against us, but
Mhm.
I've seen enough of him. I've seen enough of him in the past, and he showed enough of him in that last game we played, especially with that wicked slice return that he has, and just an overall high IQ for the game. I like the pick, and I know that he and Ben are going to play well together, and they played a lot together in the past apparently, so they
Can
know
you
each other's
imagine
games.
what kind of hell third drops are going to be with those two? Because Ben also has insane spin on his returns. And I think Austin, with that forehand chop he does, it's the most spin I've ever felt. The two of them are going to be a nightmare on returning their seconds. So that's great. And Austin also has a backhand that I think rivals mine in he prefers it, and he can do some really wacky, weird, good stuff with it. So that's a great
Yeah.
pick.
I like the pick for sure.
Tim, it comes around to you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Would you mind scrolling down a little bit? I want to take a look at exactly what this looks like here. Okay. Yep. Go back up. I'm going to take. So my top options at this point are all guys that I have never played with, which is really interesting. I'm going to take Michael Manning.
Great.
I
Yeah.
have
Good-
shared. Yeah, I've shared the court with him a couple of times. Sean and I played him in a tournament one time, and then he played in a lifetime tournament with Ryan Spradlin. Just always been impressed with his game. Just super solid. Love his dinking, and he's a heck of a singles player too. So I'm excited to mix it up with Michael.
I hope I don't have to play against you two. I'm shocked he fell to 7. Now, if you look at the guys above him, it's like it's not disrespecting anyone, but Michael at 7. I was like,
Good value there. Good
when I
value
saw
pick.
him come down this far, I was like, could he maybe roll around to me? But there's no way. Like Michael is a machine. So great pick. You guys are gonna be in trouble together. Yep.
All right, our next
Let's bring in
captain
Louis.
is Louis, Eric Lewandowski, and he's got 2 picks in a row, number 8 and number 9. Hey,
Good
Louis.
evening, gentlemen.
What's up, Louis?
Wait, hold on. People watching for the first time have heard this guy referenced all the time.
The
Yeah,
Louis
they're
roll.
meeting him for the first time.
It's right
The
there.
Great Eric Louis Lewandowski.
I appreciate the praise, and yeah, shout out to the podcast. It's awesome, except for Tim's beefs, right?
No.
Oh, Tim has
Let me
replaced
Let me just-
Ian as
no,
the.
no.
As the
I am not the heir apparent to Ian's bad beefer. All right,
he-
heir apparents are usually younger. All right, he's going to
That's true.
outlive me. He's still the man when it comes to bad
Oh
beefs.
man.
I also have to give Ian crap too for the first 3 picks using just the last initial for the last name, and then he's like, Oshalowski, don't know how to spell this. I'll just write the whole last name out for that one. So, way to keep it consistent.
That is funny.
I'm nothing but the best of consistency. Just
And
like your drops and your dinking, bro.
And stealing my pick, that was upsetting.
I knew it.
but-
Yes,
Yep,
that makes
I
I'm
knew
so
it too.
satisfied doing that.
Man, so yeah, I didn't expect some of these people to be here either. I wish I knew more about Joseph with such a high duper. It's hard to pass him up, but I also don't want to stack all the dupers on one. This is one of my picks is going to be a super value duper pick. That may or may not surprise you guys, but with both of my picks, I'm going to go Sandeep and Craig.
Nice.
And I just want to say it's super tough to pass up some guys lower on that list that I really like playing with. Like, I don't know, like Stolp is one of them that I'm like, I really love playing with Stolp, but with Craig's super duper rating being down significantly lower, it's hard to pass him up. So
His 4.29 should really be above 4.7. Like it's an abomination of duper that he's that low.
that's great. And so anyway, those are my 2 picks to start us off.
All right.
That is a wicked good team.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Uh,
I hate it.
Yeah,
I
2
don't wanna
great
talk
picks.
about it.
I
Great
hate
picks.
it. I hate it because I love it.
okay, so I haven't played with Sandeep in a while, but Sandeep has always been like the epitome of consistency, good drops, It's just so traditional, smart player, but capable of mixing it up in the chaos and the knife fight if he needs to. And Craig is a little bit more like that too. I think I would default Craig to a beta, but he's like me, like a dangerous beta. You don't want to leave the ball high or he's going to tag you. Great dinks, got a good drive, got a good drop. Like all around, any combination of that team is going to be very frustrating.
It's interesting that he explicitly mentioned that Craig's duper was a factor in choosing him. So, if you win with Craig Duncan at your side, a 4.2 something, that's gonna be beneficial for your duper. And if you lose, it mitigates the loss a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Tim, wrapping back around to you. The beauty of the snake draft.
I'm really impressed with how prepared everyone comes on here. Because whenever it's my turn, I'm just like, I don't know. This is really tough. Louis mentioned Stolp. I would love to have Stolp on my team, but I'm looking around. This is really, really difficult, you guys. I am going to go with Stolp.
Dang you. I wanted my guy.
I want him.
Yeah. Now here's the interesting thing about Stolp as your pick is he's still ramping up, coming back from the surgery, but every day he gets better. And I think at the rate he's progressing, yeah, there he is. He's in the chat. I think by November 18th, like over a month out, golly, there's just like, where do you drop? If you and Stolp are playing next to each other, I don't know where to drop because his albatross arms are going to send the ball at me, or you're going to be there for a step back. It's like, yeah, that's such a great pick. I'm really mad at you.
Well, a week ago, I don't know that I would have picked him this high, but I played with him on Friday. I think it was Friday, and I was really impressed. It just looked like the old Stolp, and he was moving around great. His drops were looking really good, and for a team event like this, and now I played in two of them, I see this as being just.
Think of the positivity.
I want a Stolp on my team for this thing.
Yeah.
I want Stolp on my team for this thing. So happy that I got him. Let's go.
Boundless energy, boundless positivity. I mean, you're gonna want to win for him. You're gonna love him that much as a teammate. So.
One of the things that I've come to realize about pickleball is the mental part of the game is so important. And if you're just in a funk, you're not going to play well. And Stolp is one of those guys that brings out the best in his partners because he's so positive and his joy for the game is so infectious. And I love playing with him by my side. I feel like he makes me a better pickleball player.
And shout out to Gabe Zambrana in the chat. Go baby giraffe. He's calling up Stolp. we got to play with Gabe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Love that guy. Love that he's
Gabe.
Here. Love Gabe. All right, Ben, bring Ben on back in.
Hey, Ben.
Hey. Well, this is going different than planned. I have all the numbers, and I'm kind of trying to make decisions, but I've never played with Steve Strahler, and I hear he's a big racquetball guy, and I'm a big racquetball guy, so I think we're going with Steve.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Talk about wrist action. Ben and Steve both generate so much power without swinging. It's really hard to read. They're going to be tagging a lot of guys.
Yep.
Yeah, Steve is seasoned. He's a seasoned player, a veteran of multiple racket sports.
Racket pro, right? Like professional.
He's a racquetball professional. That's his main sport, and he's not going to be intimidated no matter who's on the other side of the net.
I love that.
And when Steve is playing at his best, he is among the best. He's got all the shots. He's got offense. He's got defense. He's got a great IQ for the game. So.
And Ben can shake and bake. So if Steve ends up driving that ball and he can keep it low, Ben's going to be able to put a lot of balls away. Jesse, you're at number 12, man.
You know what? I'm going to need a moment. In fact, I'm going to see if I can talk to Seth, because if he's around, I'd like to get his input. So I'm going to mute myself and reach out to him if that's all right.
Oh.
I just need a couple minutes here.
Start the timer, Tim. I'm going to give this man 2 minutes.
Yes, and it will auto draft if he goes over 2 minutes. And we all know what auto drafting does. I mean, you might end up with someone who's got a broken leg or is afraid of the duperness of this and decides to pull out. I mean, this is risky, Jesse. You should have came more prepared.
Yeah, minute 45. We're gonna
You don't
give
see-
him
you
the
don't see me
lowest
spelling
Bono,
the
or the not. But it's not Bono anymore. It'd be Shepard is the lowest duper. Oh, Shepard 4.08.
That's
Dude,
ridiculous.
that's ridiculous.
That's
Shepard's
value right there.
That's
Not
such good
to-
value.
Not to influence the picking.
Okay, I
Oh,
was
that
not
nice.
able. I was not able to reach Seth, which really bums me out. But this is a really hard choice for me.
Yeah.
And what makes it hard is that there's somebody available to me who I didn't think would be. And I really hadn't even considered putting him on my team because I just assumed he'd be taken by now. But I'm going to take him. I'm going to take Miles.
Oh wow. Yep.
So that's my pick.
Miles is a singles specialist. He, I believe, right now is the top-rated tennis player in Colorado Springs. And last I heard from his coach, he was third in the state. So the kid can move. He's just beautiful to watch on the court with his footwork. That doubles game, I know, has been progressing. He and Corbin play together a lot. Yeah, Miles is good. And you've got Seth. Yeah, Miles is a good for your super singles little dream breaker thing, Jess. I like that pick. No, it
Hey
comes
guys,
to me.
I have a very special guest here who has called in. Hope you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's up? What's up? Stolt checking in live. Coming at you. Just wanted to thank my boy, big time Timmy Jim, for the great second round pick. I'm feeling a big deal being a part of the big deal team here, and I want to let everybody know I retract all the negative sentiment I had about Tim's bad take with rotating shoes, and in fact, I'm going to go out and buy another pair of shoes and rotate those suckers until November 18th, and I'm coming in fresh with a hot new pair, ready to roll. Let's go, Tim. Great pick. Way to go, bud.
Thank you, Stolt.
Love that
Love
guy.
that enthusiasm.
All right, I will not take so long on my pick here because I see a theme developing with my picks. And I'm going to draft another dude who I've never met. Not just never met, never seen play. I'm going to take Joseph. He's got a 5.18 duper. Ben King is partnering with him in the league. And anyone that Ben is willing to stand next to with duper on the line has got to be able to ball. Now, here's what's funny. I didn't think I was going to take Joseph, but both Adam and Joseph are two guys I got in contact with specifically asking them how their game was. And Joseph's nearly verbatim quote to me was, "I'm not quite as good as Ben, but I'm a very good player." And my opinion of Ben is as up there with the best of them in town. So if that's Joseph's opinion of himself, I'm going to go with it. I got two guys who I do not know, have never met, have never seen play, but I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah, I think it's totally understandable.
Yep. All right, let's bring in Mick.
Okay.
Yeah, you dogs, man. I'm really pissed. I was getting super excited, and I was about to chat that I'm willing to make some draft pick changes that with you, Jesse, or with Ian to trade my second and third round for yours in order to get what I wanted. But you guys are smart. You're picking up good value, and good on you. So congratulations for some really good picks. I think everyone's doing great with their choices and reasoning. I'm going to go for the real deal, Corbin America Devil. I've never played with the guy, but he's played with Miles. I've seen him on courts a couple away from me at Monument Valley Park. But I like young guns who are thirsty and addicted to the sport like the rest of us and are working super hard. And I think that's kind of like what I like doing. I like being a captain, partnering with the next up and coming. And so I'm excited to get Corbin on my squad.
Awesome. That's a great
Mick.
Great pick.
That's a great pick. I love
Jesse,
that
you
pick.
got thoughts on Corbin, I think.
Yeah, I've had a chance to drill with several very strong players in our community. Some of them more than once. I drilled with Corbin, and I found him to be exceptionally good. His drops and his dinking, I think he is at or near the top of the roster in those skills. So I totally understand why Mick would pick him in the second round.
The two of them together, that's going to be a tough team to dink with. They're going to keep that ball low, and they're going to go for a long time.
Yep.
Yep.
Control oriented, those two for sure.
All right, bring in Mr. Hatch.
Yeah. All right. I'll think for
Hey,
a
Sean.
Oh,
He's
yes.
just called a friend. He's used his call a friend.
Yes,
Oh my God,
Sean, I
that's
love
serious
that.
GMing.
All right. Are we still doing this? It's been so long since I picked, and I did try to trade down. Nobody was going for any trades. So, I think I could have gotten a value pick with Jose. I don't think people appreciated his game, but nobody was going for a trade. So, okay, I'm stalling for my pick. You want to know who I'm picking. Is that right?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
All right, what pick are we at? With pick number 15, the Heavy Dinkers are going with Jeff Ma.
Nice.
All right.
The walk master himself.
The Walkman.
Thank you, Sean.
Man. Jeff
Yeah.
has, to me, Jeff's third shot, what we have affectionately dubbed as the walk. It's like a drive drop thing. I find that to be the single most difficult shot for me to handle on a fourth and like when it's on. Now it can be inconsistent if it's low or high, the way he hits it, it can be in the net or attackable, but dude, if he's hitting it and it's on, it's my least favorite shot to see from the other side of the net. Bar none.
Yep, I agree. We just played. So when Mick and I were getting ready for that team event last weekend, we played a warm-up match against Jeff and Courtney, and they won the first 3 games against us. And it's because we couldn't get anything by Jeff. Jeff was crushing all of our speed ups and deflecting it right back at us twice as hard, and it was really frustrating. When Jeff Ma is on, he's as good as it gets. He really is.
Yep. All right, Jesse, bring in the Coyote.
All right. Here he is.
Go back. Can I see that list one more time? Scroll up.
Yeah,
and down.
so we're done at the top. You got
All
right there.
Boy, this has become tough. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Played with kid recently. Tim Shepard.
Yes, yes.
The up and comer.
Yes, sir. The
Not
Colorado
only-
Cucumbers.
Yep. Not only is Shepard a freaking great player, and that duper is embarrassingly low, but he rivals Stolp with positivity. Like, you can do no wrong. He's such a joy. I mean, a dude I've been hanging out with off the courts, with as a friend. Like I just met him in the last month, but good pick, Nick. That's going to be.
Great pick, man.
And he's lefty, so you guys are going to have that forehand middle. That's going to be tough.
Thank you, Nick.
Good stuff, Nick.
Yeah, I was eyeing Tim at number 17, but he's gone.
Talk about value. What's that duper?
4.08.
4.08.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, boy.
You want to climb the duper ranks? Play with Shepard.
Yep. Good stuff. Good
Awesome.
pick.
Jesse.
Okay.
We are now starting. This is starting the random number generated round. So
Okay.
that was all dupers. Now this was whatever Lady Luck threw us in.
This is actually an easy choice for me. I was originally thinking of taking this player in the second round, so I'm thrilled.
I don't want to predict. Though I think I know who it is.
I know who this is.
You guys know who it is?
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know who it is.
Who?
You're going with Monty.
Yeah, I'm going with Monty.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love playing with Monty. He's strong at singles. He brings out the best in me. I'm totally thrilled to have him as our third round pick. Is amazing to get him then.
Tim, talk
Yeah.
about Monty's athleticism, dude.
Oh my gosh, Monty's a stud. He is so athletic. His short game is getting better all the time. It really is. The more he plays with us, the better he gets, and he's usually on Champions Court whenever we're doing King of the Court. He's right there all the time. He puts balls away. He's got great power. He's got great speed. He has great reach. He is the definition of an alpha. So love that pick with Jesse especially.
And Jesse, if you end up playing with him on game day, your resets, your drops, your consistency on defense next to him, and his ability to just fly across the court just like a stolpish. Oh man, that's a troublesome duo.
Yeah, all three of the guys I've got, Seth, Miles, and Monty, they can take up 80% of the court, so I have a tiny little sliver to worry about.
Yeah.
So that's good.
All right,
That'll
let's
help.
bring in Mr. Tingstrom for his final pick.
Hey Mick, welcome back.
Yeah, there's so many good players, and makes it very difficult to decide which player to get, and I'm having to make adjustments on the fly based on who is available that I didn't think was going to be available, and trying to figure out the best partnership. So it's not just about the best player, right? But it's who is going to best complement the other players that you've picked, which has not gone exactly the way I thought, but very, very wise, smart choices for considering dupers and whatnot. So I am going to go with my man who I've already partnered with and had a great time and great success with. The guy who is unassuming,
Jared.
nobody, quiet on the court, but slashing, flying, the Singaporean slasher, Jared Menard.
The Singaporean slasher
That's
goes.
him. That's him. All right.
All right, thank you, Mick.
Thanks, Mick.
Jared's such a joy, guys, and
Oh my gosh, we love Jared.
and he's a self-proclaimed. He doesn't always know how to bring out his best intensity, but when you get what we dub the Singaporean slasher, that true killer, he has got some of the just best kitchen knife fighting skills ever. The backhand comes at you low. He does this thing where after a drop comes in, a third shot, he will wait right until you're about to hit that, and he rushes the net and just strikes it. You don't see him coming. He slashes out of nowhere. Dude, if Jared's on, he's another guy with a signature move,
Yeah, he's famous for his slashing for sure. You don't see it coming, but the other thing that Jared is so good at, when his game is on, his dinking straight ahead and his craftiness at the kitchen line, it drives me absolutely crazy. So yeah,
He's like your kryptonite. It's kind of
he
weird.
really is. I have such a hard time with him when he's on.
Yeah.
So I love that pick, and I hope he's not on when I play against him in this
Yeah.
event.
All right.
All right. Hey, before we go on to the next pick, I got to say I see some really good choices for being at number 19. So I'm eager to see what Sean decides to do
Yeah.
here.
This will be interesting. Maybe
bring
he's
him
still
in.
on the phone a friend.
Yeah, he's doing his research. Hey, Sean.
Put my phone down this time, just in time. But I do think this is tough. And the last pick here, talking to my teammates, our last pick, I'm going with Jeff Konitsky.
Nice. Excellent pick. So Jeff is he loves the shake and bake, and one of the things I love about Jeff is he's actually a shorter guy, but he's so good at the kitchen in knife fights because the ball is a little bit higher, more towards shoulder height, kind of torso height. He hits that thing so hard, and it's not like coming down on an overhead, but with his reflexes and his power, a lot of guys, taller guys, are kind of hitting from down lower. He's hitting higher up, flat across. It's really tough to deal with, and very fast. All of it, yeah.
I have never played with Jeff before. Have never even met him. We've texted over Duper League stuff, but that's it. So I'm excited to play against him finally.
He's very aggressive, coming in on his thirds, and he'll be, with Sean or Jeff setting him up with a nice third. Jeff is going to be scary. You're gonna get that fourth just right, or he's going to come in and kill it.
All right, I can't believe I'm this lucky. So the theme with my picks here is of everyone on this roster, there were three guys who I had the least amount of on-court time with. Two of them I've never met, obviously. But this, my third pick, Tim, you're gonna be jealous of me here. I'm picking my brother from another mother, the other white man.
Oh wow!
Yep,
What a
I'm-
snipe job!
I'm taking Utah resident
Oh,
Pete Whiteman as my third pick at number 20. Pete is a lefty. He's my guy. I've been out to Utah to play tournaments with him. He's hosted us at his house when we went out there to play with some pros. I love the guy. I'm like giddy right now. I didn't think Pete was gonna fall this far to me. He's left-handed, one of the best drops in the game. He and I can stack odd backhand middle, forehand middle. I'm like I can't believe I got this lucky. So Pete's going on my team. I'm so pumped for that. He and I play so well together.
yeah. So he was visiting recently. Well, not too recently, but this past winter. And the four of us, it was Ian, Peter, Louie, and me. And we played over at Springs Pickleball, and that was just a blast. And try as we did, Louie and I could really not solve what Ian and Peter brought. And Ian got something out of Peter that was pretty impressive. So I love this pick for you, Ian. As annoyed as I am, I'm glad
I knew you were going for him.
I was for sure gonna take him, but if it had to be someone else, I'm glad it's you, Ian.
Yeah, you're gonna not enjoy saying that when we end up playing you.
You're probably right.
Awesome.
Anyways,
All right, man. Since I stole your brother from you.
Dude,
he's
I
my
almost-
brother now. He's
Yeah,
my brother
well,
now.
okay. I'm not. Yeah, sure. All right. So it's between two guys, and I almost want to do a randomizer because I can't decide. Oh, this is so tough. This is so tough. I'm glad they're both there. If I couldn't get my brother, then I'm glad I get my choice at these two guys. And their dupers are very similar. I mean, all the guys left have very similar dupers, it looks like. I'm going to go with Spradlin.
Mm.
Very close. Very close. It was him or Banu for me. They both have very similar games. They're actually playing together in the current Duper League. They both have big serves. They both have big forehands.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan is a singles player that gives me fits. Can't stand playing him in singles, and that's a compliment to him because he's very savvy. A tennis background. Love the guy. Super nice guy. He's played with Michael Manning before, so we have that. I love the idea of matching him with Stolp, possibly, and having all that height and power. So Ryan, it is.
Excellent. All right, bring up the king.
Hello again.
Welcome back, Ben.
Thank you.
How are you going to
So-
close this off, jar opener?
Oh, the jar. You like that? See, I like that name, right? It's good. I'm torn what to do because my name is mentioned in Banu's, script. So I feel like destiny wants me to pick him, and I'm trying to decide. I've played with Wee. Is it Wee or Way?
We.
Oh, this is a debate.
Yeah,
this
there's
is a
been
heated debate.
controversy.
That's
All right,
another 10
no,
minutes.
no, but I've asked the guy how to say his name directly, and he says we. So
That's because he doesn't think you Americans know how to talk.
Ugh.
Or
Okay,
pronounce
well, I
their-
think
I'm pretty sure it's
we
way.
are going to beat you guys.
I love
So I'm picking Wee.
Yes.
Nice.
He's another guy who, when he's firing on all cylinders, he can give you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's got the fastest footwork, but dude, positive energy, enjoyable to have on your and he'll let Ben go alpha, right? Like we will sit back. Great teammate. That is solid pick, I think.
Yep. So Wee was my right hand man in the first team event that we did, and we got gold. And I got something out of Wee that was unexpected. He showed more enthusiasm that day than I had ever seen, and he played super confidently. So if you can get that out of him again, that could be a real steal of a pick.
Yeah, you guys were fun to watch at that mixed event. All right, now we're narrowing it down here. We got 2 names. Both are guys that I would be happy to play with. I mean, let's see how this goes. Bring Nick back in.
Oh, wow. It's just a hat.
Yes.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Again, getting down to the nitty gritty, boys. Tough decision here. But I think this kid shows a lot of heart, shows a lot of improvement. I'm going with Banu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I just say that originally I didn't think I was going to get Miles in the second round, and he was available. I took him, but I had originally planned to take Monty at number 12 and Banu at number 17. So I think getting Banu at 23 is
ridiculous.
a steal. He is playing so well lately. He is on a winning streak, and he is a hard worker who's going to continue to improve between now and November. So congratulations, Nick. I think you got a fine player there.
All right. Well, this is, someone's got to go last. It's Bobby. Louie's forced into it, but let's bring Louie up. Let's get his thoughts. And Louie's also be part of our post-draft analysis, so he'll be sticking around. Louie, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm actually psyched to see Bobby down there. I know Bobby may be one of the lowest rated players in terms of duper, but he's the highest rated player for me in terms of glorious on-court energy and the hilarious jokes he brings. So I don't think anyone has played with Bobby and doesn't enjoy it. So I'm psyched to have Bobby forced into the pick, but it's probably one I would have chosen anyway. So
yeah, Bobby actually has an underrated soft game. Like, he's got a great drop, a great dink. I mean, next to you guys are going to get up to the kitchen line basically every time. And once that's where the game is won. So that's a great pick.
I just want to point out that Bobby and his wife Ellen have a fine record in mixed doubles where they compete often at 4-5, and they're very competitive at that level. And Ellen is excellent, of course, but it's not just her. He is very good too, and I don't know who to target because they play really, really well.
Because he holds them together, man. He's not error prone.
Very consistent, very patient. He's basically a very solid beta player.
Yeah.
The kind of player that you want by your side, who's going to just be like a brick wall and hopefully elicit some pop-ups.
Absolutely. All right, Jess, bring everyone back up. Now we're opening trades. Players can do 1-for-1, 2-for-2, 3-for-3 trades.
Do we want to read off the teams? I mean, I have all of the...
What I was thinking about doing is highlighting everyone and giving them a color. I'll do that right now, but if you've got it,
do you want me to read them in the meantime?
Yeah, go ahead and read that while I do this.
And if you guys have a team name, you can tell me what it is. Nick, do you have a team name? Nick Patterson. Okay, he's not listening to me. He's out celebrating his team. So Nick is Eli, Tim Shepard, and Bobby Steinlein. Sean, your team's name?
Wait, didn't Bobby go to Louie?
Yeah, Louie got Bobby.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Nick
sorry.
got
It's
Banu.
Banu. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nick is Nick, Eli, Tim Shepard, and Banu. Sean, what is your team's name?
The Heavy Dinkers.
Okay, the Heavy Dinkers is Sean, Jose, Jeff Ma, and Jeff Konevsky. And Mick Tingstrom, do you guys have a team name?
Deal Breakers. Oh, no, sorry, that was last weekend. That was yesterday. The Real Deal.
The Real Deal, kind of running with the same pun twice there.
Colorado
I like it.
Cucumbers.
Okay, Nick is the Colorado Cucumbers. Mick Tingstrom, Brett Lane, Corbin Devlin, and Jared Manar. Ian, your team name?
We are the Scramblers.
The Scramblers is Ian, Adam, the singles pro.
We can change those names before competition.
No, you're locked in for
Absolutely
it's
not.
contract binding.
Actually,
Yeah, no, you can change it later.
Okay, Ian with Adam, Joseph Schrader, and Pete Whiteman. My team, I did not want to name it yet because I wanted to see who my guys are. I mean, the name should be reflective of your individual members. So it's Jesse, Seth, Miles, and Monty. Ben, do you have a team name?
Yeah, we're the jar openers.
Oh, right, the jar openers. Ben is with Austin, Steve Strahler, and we. Tim Whiteman, do you have a team name?
The Deal Breakers.
The Dill Breakers. That sounds familiar.
Yes.
Okay. Michael Manning, Tim Whiteman, Stolp, and Ryan Spradlin. It's a good team. And Louis, do you guys have a name? Dinkosaurus Rex?
That is correct.
Okay, and he's with Sandeep, Craig Duncan, and Bobby Steinlein. So those are the teams.
I'm almost done organizing here. Thank you for buying me time. Captains, you guys got some trade offers on your mind?
Jesse, I have 3 J's on my team. Do you want to switch to go with 4 J's? And I'm teasing. I don't want to offer that trade, but
You give me, if you give me all 3 of your guys, I'll give you maybe I'll give you one of mine.
All right, going once.
Well, wait a second here. Let me look at some of these names. Does anybody else have an offer they're thinking about making?
It's hard to see who has everybody.
yeah, I have to kind of.
Do you want to wait a moment and let Ian kind of finish that?
Well, I
Yeah, I
did
think
finish
you put
it.
it up on the screen.
Yeah, I'll try and minimize it a little bit more so you guys can. Can you see them all?
Oh yeah, that's
No,
fine.
it's tiny.
Cool.
I can see it.
Do you
Tim.
want to give us some time, or is our trade's going to be done? The teams are set after tonight.
After tonight, I'd like to set the teams finalized. Tim, I'm willing to part with Pete for Stolp, but that would be it.
Yes, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
And Jesse finds that funny.
I had to try.
Goodness gracious.
Didn't know how badly you wanted your brother.
Can you guys
You're
all
not.
see
You're not
that?
trying to sweeten that deal at all. You're just trying to go 1 for 1. I mean, he was
Hey,
my second
You
pick.
can
I picked
show
him
brotherly
pretty high.
love or not. That's up to you.
You should throw in some money with that offer, Ian. Do you-
And we will also let you, if we end up playing you guys, you can always choose side or serve, no matter what. How about that? But yeah,
tempting.
I didn't think you were going to go with it. Dang it.
That's a
Can
nice
you guys
pick.
see-
Sean.
Can you see the teams, you guys? Because I can type them in.
Yeah, I can.
Everybody can see
No,
them.
they're
If you just
tiny on my
maximize your
screen,
screen,
but
then it's
whatever.
okay.
Ben, do you want me to type it into the chat box?
No, don't stress yourself. But Sean, what do you think about Konevsky for Wii?
It's funny. I feel like this is difficult talking about people and trades. I wonder how these GMs really feel when they're attached to these players.
Oh yeah.
Jesse.
Wait, can I just say something about that offer? Didn't Sean have the choice
While
of
these guys are waiting, Jesse, I sent you a.
a text message? Or what?
Oh, I just thought
I'm
I'd
still
offer
thinking. Ben,
text
sorry.
message, Jesse.
Let's see.
You what, Sean?
I'm still thinking.
Okay, yeah, think on it.
I don't understand the offer, Mick. You're going to have to make it clear. But I just want to point out something about the potential Ben-Sean trade. Sean, didn't you have the choice between Jeff Konevsky and and you chose Jeff Konevsky?
We came after Jeff, yes.
So why would you want to do that trade? It doesn't.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
I'm
Don't listen
thinking
to the other
of.
captains,
So
Sean.
I must
Steal your
admit.
heart.
Ben is very, very good at pickleball, but I'm not sure that offer was a 5.0 offer.
Both of the same
So-
round. Could have been random number anywhere. I could have had that first pick in the third round.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a 2 for 2 in there to see a counter offer, but
Yeah, no counter offer on that one. I got one
oh,
up for
well then
grabs.
that's easy. So yeah, then it's a no.
No worries.
Cool.
I suppose we can't do 2 for 1s. That's not going to work.
2 for 1, no.
Play with the ghost.
If anybody is feeling regretful of their first round pick and they're wishing that they had picked Miles instead, I would be open to a proposal.
Jesse, I just sent you a text offer.
Okay.
Ooh, under the table.
Text offer. Lame. We need to hear this in real time.
For real. Look at you guys being sly and underhanded. Where's the entertainment?
These
value?
offers are like, come on, don't waste my time.
Yeah, Jesse, my offer off the table because it didn't. I forgot that you got the first pick in the third round as well, so that's not going to.
Okay.
I'm locked in. I'm not moving. I'm so excited to see what we put together.
All right.
Yeah.
If anybody has serious
touched, I guess,
offers, let's put them on the table now.
That was a
Otherwise-
serious offer to send you.
Oh my
Well,
God.
he
You
laughed
have
in
to
your
laugh in my
face at us,
face
so you
about
must
it.
not have been serious.
You want my?
Let's hear it, Jesse.
Currency.
Tim,
I'm not
just-
gonna
yeah.
disclose it unless Tim says I should.
No, you shouldn't. That's why I texted it to you.
Okay. My lips are sealed.
Hey Jesse, that's pretty good. When that's a good sign when everybody's texting you and trying to negotiate for your picks.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
that's
know,
right.
it seems like a weak sign of
wants me though. They just want my other guys.
You can trade your captains here.
I'll trade
Can
myself.
We should trade captains.
That would be interesting.
All right.
All right,
I'm
I'm
gonna shut this thing down because we got a post-draft analysis to do.
All right.
Thank you, boys. For
All right. Thanks, you guys. That was fun.
Louis,
Super
Nick,
fun, guys.
Good stuff.
Hey. Be good, guys. Thank you for joining.
Have a good night.
Tim, I know you got to bounce pretty quickly, so stay as long as you would like.
Okay.
And Louis, I also know that you maybe got kids to put to bed, so same with you.
Do you want me to leave the spreadsheet up?
No, you know what?
No,
I want it on just because
Okay.
of this.
Yeah.
I want first to discuss from the super singles perspective, which group you fear the most.
I already
We'll
have
talk
my
about-
power rankings done.
Okay, go for it, Lou. Lay it out.
So you guys know I love spreadsheets. I'm not gonna share the whole spreadsheet because it has all my rankings of every single person in the draft. But I've already have the teams calculated out by like team duper, the average duper, and then the rank based on like where I had each player ranked and where they ended up in the draft. And so,
By the way, everyone, Louis is insanely smart. Like we've seen some of his spreadsheets he builds for us on the PickleBros side of things. Like, it's insane. This guy is brilliant. So when he tells you he's weighted his own little algorithm and he's got the power rankings, they're real power rankings.
I appreciate that, Ian. So my power ranking has Ian's team far and away the number one team. And this is based on the draft, not the captains included. So I'll have to find some way to update it with the captain as being part of it, but just based on the three people that they got on their team. Ian, I think, has the number one team.
So I'm just curious how you make that assessment when you don't know Joseph, you haven't played with Pete a lot, and I mean you're the only one who knows Adam. Like just
Sure.
dive into your mindset there.
To the insight. So
Yeah.
for me, Adam is ranked number one. So he got 24 points on this generator for me. Every player just subsequently goes down. Adam is the most talented guy, has the highest potential out of anyone on this draft board. So if he actually improves his doubles game, then he can be pro level. So that in itself is great. Joseph, yeah, I haven't played against him, but he has a 5.18 duper. I've seen him briefly play, and he is very close to Ben, and Ben is right up there. So I had Joseph down in like the number like 6 slot, which was pretty high. And then Peter was kind of further down on that draft board, but just between the top 2 picks, like for you getting only pick, what did you have? 4 and then 13.
Yeah, 13.
Like
Yeah.
to get 2 of the top 5 guys on the board out of my board.
Yeah.
That is insane. So
Yeah,
that is
I'm
what
with you,
catapulted
Louie. I
me
had,
to the top.
I basically had Ian getting the 3rd and 4th pick in the draft.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
He
see.
has 2
Okay.
top 5 picks when he shouldn't have had anywhere near a top 10 pick.
See,
for
this is
his
the pickleball gods smiling down on me because in our last event, I took dead last. So,
We can
Yeah.
hope Ian has a bad night and brings them all down. Otherwise, if Ian plays,
which is absolutely possible. Absolutely possible.
wow, thanks, guys.
if Ian brings God mode, then
I was going to say Ian.
we're all done.
Ian needs those guys.
Dude,
All right.
I'd love to play on the right side for all 3 of those guys because Pete and I reverse stack. We put backhands in the middle. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to give my impression really quick, you guys, before I sign off here. There was one team that really stood out to me as being, I just loved every single pick, and this is why I propositioned him with a trade, and that was Jesse's team. Love Jesse's players. I was really hoping that I'd be able to snatch, and I said this during the live show, that really hoping I'd be able to snatch Seth away from Louie. So I had a feeling Louie would take Seth, although I like who Louie ended up taking. But Seth going as early as he did, I think is really interesting. But I think so much of Seth's game. I think he's a real like rising star in this area. And then Miles for the singles. I don't know much about Miles for doubles, but
he's good. He's serviceable for sure. It's not his strength, but he
Sure.
can play. He can play doubles.
he can get you to a dream breaker. I mean, at least, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he can. And then once he's in the dream breaker, he's one of the best singles players here. And then Monty can play some serious singles too. So that's a scary.
Imagine that 3-4.
Yeah,
the back
it's a
end of
scary lineup. Just really scary. I like Jesse with any of those guys. I think all those guys make sense with Jesse as a partner. I just like the chemistry of that team and the makeup of that team and all the players individually as well. So,
Yeah.
kudos, Jesse. I give you an A+ for your draft grade.
Thank you. I love my team. Miles, I don't know very well. I've only played him once. It was a rec game, just a pickup game at MVP, and I thought he played well. But I really got him mainly because of his singles expertise. So I feel pretty good about this team in singles because Seth can play. I've seen him play singles, and Monty is excellent at singles. But really, what makes me happiest about the 3 guys I picked is that the lowest pick was Monty, who's really good. Like I thought Monty might not be available at 12, which is where I planned to take him. And my only regret is I didn't have. If I had a 5th pick, I would have picked Banu. I was looking forward to having him be part of this team as well, and drilling with him and working with him. But I love my 3 players. I just hope that they can, that I don't ruin it for them. I don't want to be the weak link. So I'll try my best.
Excellent.
All right, guys. I am out, but this was fun, and I hope I can't wait to hear you guys' analysis tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim. We'll see you, bro.
See ya.
All right. So, Louis, can you give us the top down, your power rankings?
Yeah, sorry. I was answering a text message. Ben King
No,
was
you're good. You're
asking
good.
about the average duper per team count. So
Go ahead. Yeah, let that go.
What do we care about duper? Like you have Craig Duncan on your team. His duper is low. Like why are we so focused on this flawed measure?
Yeah.
I was just
let
saying that
the
Ben
hate
asked
come
for it,
through.
so I was doing it. Well,
Okay.
if we're not focused on it, why is the tournament for it?
It's a duper event.
Yeah, it's a duper
Yeah, but
event.
we're trying
that's
to.
why
I'm
focused
trying.
on it.
Like I think you guys agree with me that Craig Duncan's duper is incredibly
yeah.
suppressed, and some of these other
Duper-
guys
Duper
as well,
is
like Tim.
broken. Duper as a system, as an algorithm, is broken. But we are going to be playing for Duper, so I'm curious how teams are going to be affecting each other in terms of win-loss, because that'll go in the algorithm. So yeah, Louis, if you've got those numbers, I am curious.
You want the duper numbers? I was just going to do the power rank numbers.
Go power rankings. Do power rankings. Yeah.
So I had, in your props to Jesse, my team and his team both came out with the same power rank score. And so that's the number 2, 3. Maybe I'll default to Jesse on that one. I really like Jesse's team. Really strong players for sure, and a dream breaker. That's going to be hard to beat. I'm trying to look at anyone. I mean, maybe Ian's team, but yeah, that's phenomenal. So myself and Jesse were tied for the 2-3 spot. I had Tim's team in the power rankings at 4. Then I had Sean's senior citizen discount team come in at 5.
So funny.
What?
I don't. And again,
Jeff
this
is the
based on
only-
3.
Jeff is
still.
Jeff
How
is
old is
over
Jeff?
50. Everybody else on that team is under 50, by the way. But
They're
I guess
all
in
over-
your,
they're
The
all
rest of the field,
35,
though.
maybe 40.
to your mind, anybody over 40 is a senior citizen, I guess.
That's true. I can throw shit at them because I know all of them, but it is the oldest team by age, so they're the crafty veterans. And then I have Mick's team coming in, and then Ben's team, and that's pretty much it. Then Nick. So
You
that was
know
just
what?
based on the draft, though.
That's so meaningless.
It-
I mean, like
That's
look
just
at.
power rankings, not the duper rankings. It's
Well, either way, it
literally
doesn't
one
matter. Like, look at Nick Patterson's team. His worst player is Banu. He's got Tim Shepard, who's a rising star. He's got Eli. Nick is excellent at singles and a strong player himself. Like, that is a solid team. Tim Whiteman's team at 4. That's a solid. Like, these are solid teams. I don't buy.
You got to start somewhere, Jesse.
Yeah,
They are
I
all
think-
solid teams, and
Yeah, and
I
I,
mean,
think the
that's
key
why we-
here is you have to rank order them, right? They have to have some order, but I think the band between the deviation between teams is very small. It's smaller
Yeah.
than what we probably think, and that's kind of what I'm seeing as I'm looking at these teams. There's great players, great choices, great partnering, and really, when at the end of the day, it's going to be who brings their A game more times than someone else,
So
and
Mick,
that's going to be the difference maker.
Mick, and all of you, based on Stolp's got a great question in the or great comment in the thread. Assuming everyone brings their A game, what's the team you fear the most? Say everyone's firing on full cylinders, all 4 guys, all combinations. What's the team you don't want to see? I need to take a minute to look at
yours. Yeah.
mine.
Yeah, Ian, your
Yours
team.
for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think Tim's team looks pretty scary if those guys are playing at the top of their game. Yeah, I would go with Tim.
I'd say Tim Whiteman's team. If ththat's a lot of firepower. That's a lot of big guys, right? Like Ryan's pretty tall, Stolp is gigantic. Michael has good size. I mean, I think Michael's 5'11", 6 foot.
Hey, Sean left an important comment in our little StreamYard box. He asks if we can start the tournament earlier in the day because he needs to make it to this for the senior discount for dinner.
I love it.
He's gonna bring his AARP card, I guess.
I
We
would
had-
just
I don't
offer
know who
Sean
this
2
person is.
points on every game. So
We had a
hey, why are
YouTuber,
we saying
Nacho
Sean's
Fresh.
old? Why are we saying Sean's old? He just looks old.
Sean's not that old. What is he, 43, 44-ish? I'm not sure. We did have a commenter on YouTube say it just means they're the most experienced team.
That's
They
right.
So,
That's right.
awesome. Well, I need to. Well, Pete can't get out here, but I'm looking forward to meeting Joseph and Adam and getting
Yeah,
some
so
things with them.
So I wonder if you thought about this because my original team was going to be me, Banu, Monty, and Seth, and I thought, hey, we can all practice together at Lifetime at 5 a.m. Like easy.
Mm-hmm.
These, Miles threw a wrench in it, but still, at least 3 of us are like the 5 a.m. regulars. But you are probably not gonna. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that very often. these guys are kind of on a different schedule than you. Does that concern you at all?
Not for me. I know Pete so well. And Pete travels a lot for work, so he's playing with different people all the time. So I see him being very variable. I'm gonna play with him. So the way I see our team construction going is I think I'm gonna play with Adam and I'm gonna play with Pete. Adam, just because, I mean, based on what Louis is saying, just such high praise. I'll put Adam on the left. Will beat me on the right. I think we're going to be a dangerous team. Pete and I don't think we're going to have a ton of success against every team, just because I'm not. I think I would play alpha with Pete, and I'm not great at doing that. And we'd reverse stack, but Pete and I do bring out some really good stuff with each other. So let's say we win a third of our games, and then Adam and Joseph would play together for another leg, and then we'd have Joseph and Pete play together. So I see me and Adam and Joseph, like those are 2 wins auto. So we're in for the singles. And then if Joseph and Pete or Pete and I can pull out a miracle, because it's the blind declarations, maybe we end up against another team's weakest pairing. And if Pete and I are very capable of winning games against another weak pairing, and maybe we can even pull out a win or 2 against stronger teams than us. So I like us for at least the singles, and I mean Adam in singles. Let's hope he's on, because that's a lock. So I'm not worried that we're not going to get a lot of time together. I'm definitely going to make sure I go up to Adam and we drill. I think, is Adam in Denver, Louis? I know you're muted.
He is, yes. He lives up in Denver.
I'm going to make sure I go up to Denver and we drill and we play and get to know each other, because I want to evaluate his doubles game. And if it needs a little improvement, even still, in the month, I think he can ramp that up for sure.
Hey, you say he's a lock in singles, but I just want to remind you that Miles played pro at PPA in singles, as did Eric Fritzsche and several others from the Springs. And I believe he was the only one of those guys to actually win his first round and move on. So he's won at the pro level in singles.
What do you think, Lou? I mean, you've played against Adam in singles.
I haven't played against Miles in singles, and so it's been something I've been trying to set up for a while, but we haven't done it. I would just have to see Miles' singles game. I haven't seen it. I've only played Miles in doubles, and he gets some ridiculous shots back. I would say Miles has the advantage in terms of movement, but Adam is no slouch in terms of movement, and he's got a much bigger wingspan than Miles.
6'3", yeah.
So, and he has really good touch. It would be a very, very interesting match, and because they're both high-level tennis players. I mean, Adam played Division I tennis for 3 or 4 years. I think 3 years. He was injured one of them, but very good tennis player. Has played against people on the PPA tour that were former tennis players and beat them. So like James Ignanovich, I think he played against him and beat him in tennis. So why not pickleball too, right?
Right.
So between those two, that would be a very, very fun match to watch in terms of singles, because a lot of ridiculous shots would happen. So I feel like in singles sometimes, though, it comes down to whoever is more on that in that moment will usually win. And gosh, that'd be a fun match to watch.
So Eli says Miles is very consistent and super fast, with likely more experience on the pickleball court, but he's not nearly half the tennis player that Adam is.
Well, guess what? This isn't tennis.
Yep. Who could challenge Adam? Because again, I just told you I see a lot of super singles / dream breakers in our event. Who else can genuinely challenge Adam and Miles? I mean, I would say it would have to be you, Louis, right?
Probably. I mean, and the singles format in terms of rally and so few points makes a huge difference too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's such a difference between a very small number of rally points versus an entire match. And so at this point, it's like anybody could challenge them, right? If Tim Whiteman can lose 2 points to Michelle, Jesse's wife.
Like he just did, yeah.
And I love Michelle, But I mean, Tim should beat Michelle every time, right? In singles, but Tim lost 2 points to her. So in that same rally format, any of these guys, I mean, freaking Banu could have really good serves and get points off of them. So it's really a toss-up in this one. If you elongated it and brought it out to a full match, it's like, yeah, I don't know if anyone can actually challenge them. Maybe 1 or 2 out of 10 matches, but in terms of just a short number of points, shoot, it's like a 60-40 proposition there, if you ask me. So
I love that analysis.
Okay, I have a question. I want to read a comment from Ben King in our chat room. He says, Ben's team, I like how he refers to himself in the third person. That's pretty cool. Ben's team seems to be skating under the radar. Highest added duper. Just saying. What do you guys think of Ben's team?
Okay, Ben is terrifying as heck. I cannot read his power or his angles he comes, because he can hit inside out with both the backhand and the forehand, but also can, what's it called when it goes inside? Like, I know inside out is it just, what's
Inside
that terminology? I wouldn't know. Like
Outside-
the normal
outside
way,
in, I don't know.
outside the normal way of hitting it. But when I look at those other 3 guys, like Strahler, I'm not worried about at the kitchen line, because if he speeds up at me, I just have my backhand counter. Like, I mean, he does a lot of what Jason does, and that's just, he goes for your body. And so you either roll or you punch it back. We won't speed up on me, because he gets that every morning at 5 a.m. And I mean, when I say he's scared of me, I just think he respectfully knows his speed up isn't going to work on me. I only played Austin the one time, which was yesterday with Tim, and Austin had some tricky stuff. But a couple times he sped up at me, I was able to put them away, but he's got that great inside out flick that looks like it's coming at you, but then goes outside. So if Austin is on the left side, he will look like he's attacking you straight on, but he ends up attacking your partner to their left foot on the outside. So there are many times where Tim was lurching with his backhand trying to lift it, and it was causing some problems. So I respect Austin when it comes to that shot, but with the exception of Ben, all 3 of those guys I don't particularly have a concern with when it comes to what I'm good at, right? Like, and I'm only speaking from my own perspective here. Eli says Ben's team is very good. Ben's duper is over a 5 easy. I agree. Ben's an over a 5-0 player. He goes, I've heard him whine about it 100 times. Austin and Steve are very good. Steve is perhaps the best third pick in the draft. I don't. Let's see. Jared?
Steve
Shepard.
Strahler was not a third pick.
Was
Second
he?
pick.
He was a second round pick.
But like number 3 player, I think is what
I
he's
see.
saying.
Yeah.
So let's look at, he's stacked up against Jared, Tim Shepard,
Jeff
Ma,
Ma.
Stolp, Duncan, Miles, and Joseph. I mean, maybe Joseph can challenge him, but Joseph's an unknown to most of us. I think Eli's assessment's probably right. Still, I'm not still going to change what I said. Like, none of those guys particularly make me nervous, with the exception of Ben. So
there also isn't really a team in here that I would be surprised if they didn't do well. Like, that's what you
Yes.
get when you bring 32 good players together. It's kind of like any of these teams could take it, and I wouldn't be like, oh, I never would have expected that. If you have a couple of these guys who are playing well, then they're going to win every matchup. So it's not like those rankings are. I have Ian's team that has like a pretty big lead, but the rest of them are all pretty close together. So
But think about this. If we had a 7-game round robin, right, every team played each other once, there is nearly a 0% chance that a team would go undefeated, in my estimation. Like, I think we would drop a game somewhere, right? Even if we are in your power rankings that far ahead. And by the way, we might self-destruct just because we don't. I have limited time with Pete, and I've never met Joseph or Adam, so maybe we just don't gel at all, right? Like, that's a theoretical possibility that we're a train wreck together. Or maybe we take the first round to figure each other out, and that second round, but we've dropped the game. Now we're fighting for third. So
Ian, yeah, and that's on that point. That point right there, and Jesse, Jesse asked the question earlier about being the ability to be able to practice together, right? And I sort of made my decisions based on what I've seen and what I know, and there's value to knowing that and not trying to figure that out the day of the tournament.
yeah,
So,
I'll be
Adam,
proactive for sure.
yeah. So, and it depends on how comfortable you are, what your confidence is, how much time do you have in your schedule to practice. I know that, to Louis' power ranking, my team is number 6. Well, last tournament, we were number 8 on the power ranking, and we ended up finishing 3rd.
Yeah.
The reason we finished 3rd is we had a lot of chemistry. We had a lot of practice together. And that I put great premium on that, and the ability to be able to come in and play smart strategy against better players. And that's kind of my approach. And I liked hearing from you. I know that's kind of your idea is, hey, maybe I need to get up and practice with Adam, driving up to Denver to enable that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you've had the benefit of practicing with Pete and playing with Pete. So you definitely have an advantage there as well. So you may not be able to get everybody together, but you've have enough history, or may have, to where you're going in not only being on the top of the power ranking, but well positioned to make the run to the win. But it's going to be anybody's game.
Well, and I'm a psycho. I'm like you. Like, I will make sure I spend court on time with them. Pete and I have no chemistry problems. It's just whether he and I actually bring the Thunder together. Joseph's here in town. I'm going to make sure he and I end up playing any pairings from this list, just so he and I have time together. Although I'll be playing with Pete, so I may not need that to happen. I'll just need to, because I need time with Adam. I'll be playing with Pete. So actually, I really need to just focus on Adam. But I'll probably want to play with Joseph at some point during the event. Now I'll probably still have to make that happen. Eli said Joseph's a great second pick. He said he calls him awkwardly solid. So he may be a guy who's a little bit unorthodox in his play style.
I wish I had reached out to Eli before the draft. I didn't know he knew all these people.
Yeah.
I resolved not to pick Joseph because I don't know him. I've never seen him play, and I looked at his duper, and all of his games were in a small local community and no major tournaments. And to me, those are red flags. On the other hand, Ben King is willing to play with him, and that like you said, that's must mean that he can play, because Ben wouldn't play with somebody that's not good.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm seeing it the same way. So, I'm just getting some Eli's. Damn right, Jesse. Eli thinks Nick's team is very undervalued in terms of duper rating. I mean, Nick and Eli is a viciously good team. And Nick has just started playing with Tim Shepard, so again, that will be really interesting.
I like that team. I think it's a good team.
And Shepard and Bonu play together a lot, so that's going to be really good. That's good there too.
Banu will play on the right, and let's see. Tim is left-handed.
Yeah, he'll play on the left with Tim, and on the right with the other two.
Okay. Yeah, I like that team. My only concern is that Nick has been having some issues with his elbow, so hopefully he can get those resolved.
So Nick and Eli would play together. Then I think Nick and Shepard and Bonu, which then leaves Eli and Tim. I mean, all of those combinations are pretty solid.
And they got the coolest captain with the coolest vibe.
Dude, Nick is just such a joy. He's so funny. His comedy is out of this world, man.
He is. And he sleeps with his paddle too, and that's what the word on the street. He's got like 8 paddles now that he's a rep.
Yeah. I never know which paddle he's been playing with, just depending on the day.
Hey, Mick, I was curious about why you picked Brett Lane in your first round, and whether playing against him in mixed yesterday influenced your decision.
Yeah, well, I was talking to him just briefly, just in between rounds, trying to get a little bit of background, and he shared with me that he said if someone ever asks for his number, he gives him his 4.75 skill rating rather than a cell number. So if that's the kind of guy he is, he's all about pickleball. Loves the game. I liked the way he played, similar to Tim. Um, I need a guy who I think I benefit, and I'm a good setup guy for somebody who I've seen and know how he plays. And we talked about that yesterday offline. I was kind of picking your brain about your experience playing with Brett, and it was all positive, and it was successful. And you guys proved you could play men's doubles, mixed doubles, or that he proved that he can play mixed doubles as well and men's doubles. And I'm like, hey, that's the kind of guy that I think I would partner well with. So, and he's at least local, and great attitude, and everything you had was very positive about your experience with him. So I respect and value your thoughts and your experience. So that I put a lot of premium on that.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. I love his attitude, and it was just so much fun yesterday. He's also a very solid singles player, as you know, since you went up against him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't get a point, which is interesting about the singles play. And Louis, you were talking about, Michelle got 2 points off of Tim yesterday. There's a totally different feel in these team competitions when you get to singles. I feel very comfortable. I feel confident playing normal singles. But Louis, when I was playing you in the last team competition and playing Jason in the singles Dream Breaker, and I'm the last guy, I felt a lot more pressure and felt I didn't play the same game. And I think in this team, because my whole team is depending on me, and that there's a little bit of, and Tim was saying the same thing yesterday. He felt super nervous playing Michelle, which just sounds kind of crazy. But when the team is depending on you and it's a rally scoring format, anything can happen. And so, yeah, having singles players is great, but it's a dicey situation when the score is close and your whole team is depending on you.
Yeah. Can I a pivot of conversation? So I wanted to bring this up, and it's funny that Eli mentioned it in the chat as well. I looked at every team, and there's only one team in which I would say there is no weak dinker, and that's Louis' team. I think Louis and Sandeep are going to be the single most difficult team to deal with at the net, in terms of pairings. Bobby, that's where he's good. And while I think Craig is probably the weakest dinker, maybe, of those four, I wouldn't ever classify Craig as a weak dinker. So I think, Louis, if your team can get up to the net and everybody has great drops on that team, I would, again, Craig, I wouldn't classify Craig's drop as excellent, but it's way more than serviceable. And also his ability to go fast threatens you enough where you're not going to be overly eager to be aggressive on your fourth shot. Like, I don't want to see any of that combination at the net. Like, that's a really soft, good dinking team.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm excited for my team for sure.
I agree.
I don't see a lot of firepower though. Like I mean, you can speed up, but I don't think you're known for that. Craig can speed up, but he's not known for that. I think Sandeep is the same way. If you give him the right ball, he'll try and tag you.
I noticed that too. I that same thought occurred to me, that there's no like strong alpha on that team.
Well, there's no alpha with firepower. I think, Louis, you're going to play alpha for all your pairings, but
my new grip, I'm coming in hot. So.
Right, that's true. I mean, if you get that thing working over the next month, there's no one in your group of four that I think is known for their offense.
Sure.
All of you are known for your consistency and going into deep waters. So it's going to be really interesting how you guys match up against some of the more explosive teams like Tim's team. Like Ryan and Stolp and Whiteman are all known as just like speed up, power hungry, want to create speed. I think Manning's probably the most traditional of that foursome, but I've played with Michael a couple of times, and I wouldn't say he's a slow player by any means. So it's just interesting how the team's culture of how they all play is really going to come out, I think.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting dynamic, especially with the rally scoring posed in there. I think rally versus traditional makes such a big difference in terms of like team psychology, because in rally it's like you can never take points off. Every point matters because it results in a point. Sometimes when you have the serve on traditional, it's like, okay, I can let up a little bit. I can't lose a point here. Maybe I can lose my serve, but I can go for more shots. You just feel a little bit more comfortable. There's never really any comfortableness in rally, at least for me.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went with the consistent approach, hoping that that would pan out better for a rally format, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Louis, I agree with what you just said, which is why sort of also why I picked guys who are not Jarrett. I picked Jarrett because he's not a guy who's going balls to the wall, aggressive style. When we have all these really powerhouses out there, I need somebody who's solid, who's a good defender, who's a good dinker, and that was sort of a little bit of my thought on my picks as well.
Guys, we're coming up on 90 minutes. This has been glorious. We've been waiting nearly a month to do this. But I do think we should wrap it up here. But I want to, any final thoughts, any points that we want to throw out there for our draftees, for our listeners, our fans, anything like that?
This was an innovative thing. I wonder if anybody's done this, if they've ever live streamed a draft for a team event, an amateur event. So we'll pat ourselves on the back a little bit for doing this, and we hope the participants enjoyed it, and hope that the viewers enjoyed it.
Yeah, Mick, Louis, thank you for sticking on with us. That was awesome. You guys had some really good insight and stuff to say.
Honor being part of the PickleBros podcast. So
you are a pickle bro. Both of you are hardcore pickle bros. You just not on the podcast
in the background.
Yeah, and Ian, you do a great job. All the work behind the scenes. Your viewers don't know the incredible amount of work that is done behind the scenes for the sheer love of the game and the people that play it. That's what the PickleBros do, and you get a feel of that during your broadcasts, but you don't really get the sense of the insanity of these guys. They sleep, they eat, they talk, they breathe pickleball because they just love it so much. And so it's been a privilege to be a part of it, to see the background. And for those who haven't played in a team competition, team pickleball, I think, is the way of the future. It is fun, it's connecting, takes all the best things of pickleball, and I think brings them together in a format that makes it just so enjoyable, more so than the traditional tournaments that we already know and love outside of the duper world.
Awesome. Way to cap that, Mick. Thank you so much. Listeners, thank you for tuning in. Our longest stream ever, but we had a ton of fun. Hope you did too. So we love you all. Stay safe and stay out of the kitchen.